Wash your hands and stay indoors, thank you, baked potato.
Oh, hello. Have you been having lots of baked potato lately? Do you wonder where they came from? Nobody knows. Just kidding. They're thanks to Frederick the Great. He lived from 1712 to 1780 and was king for almost 50 years. He didn't have an easy childhood though. His dad bullied him for what he considered to be unmanly pursuits. Pfft, what did he know? Because our Freddie, he played the flute, he composed music, he collected beautiful bling, and he also studied art, science, philosophy. So how did Freddie become known as the Potato King? Well, when he was king, he thought the most important thing for him to learn was farming so that he could feed lots of people. He was obsessed with a super plant from South America that was full of vitamins and energy and could be planted in small fields. He wanted everybody to be eating it, but lots of people thought it was really bland, so he had to come up with a cunning plan. What he did was he planted a field of potatoes and he had his soldiers guard the field, so suddenly everybody wanted a piece. And he also told his soldiers to turn away in case anybody tried to steal it and grow it themselves. So suddenly the potato was really popular. Now it might be a myth, but I do know that Frederick did grow potatoes in royal fields and he did give away potatoes for free to anybody who needed food. He also asked for lots of migrants to come to become farmers as well so they could grow potatoes. And I find it really interesting. He said that we could build mosques and other places of worships if it meant that they would come. When Frederick died, he was buried with his pet dogs, and on his grave to this day, people will bring a potato and leave it there as a sign of gratitude and thanks. So to all of you at the Albert Kennedy Trust, when you chow down on a baked potato, remember that we have a gay king to thank for it, as well as a gay composer for this very important message, which is, if you want to have a better day, you must listen to what baked potatoes say. Keep some distance, make some space, thank you, baked potato. Remember not to touch your face, thank you, baked potato. Blah, 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 something baked potato.
Hi, I'm Ben Paites and I'm one of the curators at Colchester Museums. Today I wanted to talk about arguably one of the greatest artists and inventors of all time, Leonardo da Vinci. Now, Da Vinci is perhaps most well known for some of his masterpieces such as the Mona Lisa or the Last Supper, but he also used his artistic skills to design inventions. And one of the greatest inventions, in my opinion, that he designed was a series of flying machines that he hoped would one day put humanity into the skies. Unfortunately, when he tried out these designs at the time, they didn't quite go to plan. But there is no doubt these designs were hugely influential for future scientists and engineers who created the aeroplanes and helicopters that we see in the skies today. In terms of his personal life, he never married or had any children. We know that he believed that the idea of procreation, that's having babies, was disgusting, and he spent a lot of time hanging around young, attractive men. Unfortunately, in Italy at the time, homosexuality was illegal, and there was a case of what's referred to as sodomy brought against him, which led Da Vinci to lead a celibate life in his later years for fear of coming out to those around him. Now, I know that many people nowadays still fear coming out, and you should only ever come out when you feel ready to. But I think Da Vinci is a prime example of how a member of the LGBTQ+ community can be hugely important and influential in the development and progress of humanity and society.
Hi, I'm Pierrette, and I'm going to be talking to you about this stuff. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to be talking to you about Peanut Man, George Washington Carver. An agricultural scientist, George lived from about 1864 to 1943. He was born into slavery and kidnapped as a child. George grew up to become the first African American to earn his Bachelor of Science degree, way back in 1894. George wanted to improve the lives of poor black farmers. A bisexual, queer environmentalist with a strong sense of faith and social justice, he said, "When you do the common things in life in an uncommon way, you command the attention of the world." Understanding that in order to provide the best crops, land has to be healthy, George encouraged crop rotation, growing peanuts in very sort of wasted cotton land. To make use of the peanut crops, he invented over 100 products, ranging from cooking oil to laxatives. Everything, in fact, apart from peanut butter. George's methods would be recognised by the environmentalists of today as sustainable farming. I hope that this short introduction to the life of George Washington Carver encourages you to live freely as yourself. Stay safe, go and learn more about this inspirational man. Thank you for listening.
Hello. Maybe you're using Wi-Fi right now, But did you know that the person who helped invent the tech behind it was a bisexual Hollywood actress once called the most beautiful woman in the world? Hedy Lamarr fled Nazi-occupied Austria in the 1930s. Self-taught, she pursued inventing in her spare time. During World War II, she wanted help as an inventor, but was told that she'd be more useful raising funds using her looks as an actress. She does and raises millions for the US Army, but she doesn't give up on inventing. She notices that radio-controlled torpedoes could be sabotaged by the Nazis, so she thinks of and co-invents something called frequency-hopping spread spectrum, a signal that can't be tracked and therefore can't be tampered with. Her invention was never used during the war, but it would later pave the way for what is now used for Wi-Fi. Her autobiography in the 1960s bravely describes her attraction to women at a time when no one in Hollywood had officially come out. Hedy didn't fit the image of a typical inventor, and she fought against being stereotyped as just a pretty face. She shows us the power of fighting against assumptions and not letting others define who you are. So next time you connect to Wi-Fi, think about her fight and how no matter who you are, you can be unapologetically yourself and not let anybody else put you in a box. Remember that you're strong, you're loved, and you're not alone.
Hello! So today I want to talk to you about bullet time. This is a technique in cinematography which has revolutionised the film industry and was created by two queer people. It looks a bit like this. So it's basically a technique which looks like time has frozen and like things are moving really slowly. It's called bullet time because you can actually see bullets fly in slow motion. It was first used in the film The Matrix, although inspired by a lot of anime and kung fu films. So the idea is the actor in a big green screen will use something called wire fu, where basically they're attached to loads of wires and flying around, but around them is a rig of cameras all taking photographs from different angles. And when you put these all together, you can rotate all the way around the person and they're moving incredibly slowly. So next time you're watching your favourite superhero film, look out for the scene where everyone goes a bit like... And you can be proud when you're watching that scene to know it was directly inspired by the work of two transgender sisters, Lily and Lana Wachowski, who were pioneering film back in 1999. Whoever you are, however you identify, whoever you love, you are part of the rich tapestry of human history. You are awesome. Stay safe and stay strong.